Hey, hey everyone. Combos, combos with Carrie. Hey Lola, give me a second. You could send a request to come up or let me add you because sometimes this doesn't work properly. So let me add you first, and then if that doesn't work, we'll try to send in a request. That's Carrie. Missing black boys. Hey guys, hey, no limit. Thanks for joining. Let me see. Oh, it worked. It worked right.
No problem. Yeah, it works just fine. Yeah.
Great. Can you see me?
Yeah. Just lift it up a bit so I can see your face a bit more.
Yeah, I'm coming down. When it's
There
two
we
people.
go. Perfect.
When it's two people, it looks weird, but okay. Okay. So thank you for joining. I'm just gonna do my little thing. I'll let people start to trickle in a little bit.
Okay.
Just by doing my thing. And everybody knows me. Hi, my name is Carrie Wilson. I'm your favorite behavioral management consultant, your favorite BMC. I help children, families, and youth who are struggling with challenging behaviors. I help them to reclaim their peace one family at a time. I'm working on that pitch because, I think it needs to be, tweaked a little bit. So if you like it, let me know. If you need me to tweak it, I'm going to be tweaking it. So the next one, you'll probably hear a different pitch. So I really wanted, I had a conversation my last live that I came on, and it was talking about these three topics that were really out there that we just wanted to touch upon that we think that is not getting enough conversations or enough things of what's happening or follow up is what I would like to say. So we talked about, the missing Black boys. We talked about the pew-pewing happening at the schools in Toronto now. We also talked about the racism situation that was happening at another local high school. So there were three real major issues that were happening that we were talking about. And I just happened to come off of that and saw your post. I'm like, oh my goodness,
Wow. Look at that.
alignment, alignment.
Right.
So then I said, I sent you a quick message. You saw it was like 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock at night. It was like a quick message just saying, you know what, I loved the poster. It's beautiful. I'm not
Thank
sure
you.
who
Thank
are
you.
you the one that
Yeah,
created?
I'm a creative content director as well. So I do different content for different situations going on. So
Okay.
I did something for Black History Month as well, just to raise awareness because I feel like we need more, content creators creating awareness about issues that are really affecting us. It's not just fun and games.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
yeah.
That was a beautiful poster. So I love that. And that's what caught my eye too, anyways. And I said, well, even though I didn't even know like, what exactly you did, I just saw the poster and the information that you put up. So I'm like, you know what, you have some knowledge about it. And I'm really just looking for people who, just want to talk about it, whether they've had direct interactions with it or not, and just continue to have the conversations going because that is where the pieces will come together to figure out what are some solutions or what do we need to do this better because it's not like this is new in a
No,
sense.
it's not. It's been going on for decades. Fortunately, now with, the progression of social media, like people are getting more and more aware of it. It's been in the community for such a long time, and it's been going on for such a long time because like awareness isn't really raised about it, or even when people try to raise awareness, it just feels like Black boys are not given as much attention as other communities. So now is the time to speak up about it, especially with social media with,
Which,
you know, more
which
people
is,
finding
yeah.
out what's going on. Yes.
Yeah, and before we get more into the topic, I just want you to introduce yourself. Let us know one fun fact about you, and yeah, let's hear it. Full name and what you do, and one fun fact about yourself.
No problem. So my name is Lola Okunola. I am a marketing, social media communications specialist. I've been doing that for over 10 years, and I'm a content director. I do that for different people, for non-for-profit as well, for other businesses. And usually when there's an issue in the community, people usually let me know what's going on because they know I would want to speak about it. I want to create content about it. So they let me know, and then I create the content that they need me to create and send it out there so that more people can know what's going on, especially in our community. We need to raise awareness about this thing. So I've been in marketing communications for over 10 years since I moved to Canada, actually, because I actually moved to Canada as an international, student like over a decade ago. And since then, I've just shown interest in media and communications world.
Oh, nice. Okay, so this
Mhm.
is your day job, night job, day everything job.
Yes. Everything job in the community, plugging away, creating content, like, working on websites, working with different people, working with communities,
Oh,
working
nice.
on events. So
Great.
that's me.
That's awesome. And I did you say your full name? Because I don't think you.
Yes, it is Lola Okunlola. Yes. Or
Okay.
Lola Okunlola for
Nice.
those that understand.
And which part of
Yes.
the diaspora are you from?
Sorry, which part of I didn't
The
get that?
diaspora?
Oh, I'm the diaspora.
Yeah, you said you were international
Yes,
student. So,
I'm originally from Nigeria. That's my
oh,
background.
nice,
Yes.
nice. So did anybody contact you about the stuff going on with the school, the racist comments about the school from the teachers?
Uh
Or did you hear
no,
about it?
no, I did not hear about that. I did not
Oh,
hear about that.
okay.
Please,
I think
please
they're
let me
just
know.
trying to really, because it was at a local high school, apparently on a public in like a public forum, two teachers were having a conversation about black students saying about chicken and just making racist comments on the sharing board, like a sports board or something that they have, like a sports chat that they have. So it was at James Cardinal McGuigan. It's a high school in Toronto, and nobody heard about it till it happened in December, and nobody heard about it till now that it was leaked to one of these, these whistleblowers. It's a underground. I think his handles underground something. So it was
Oh.
leaked to him. Yeah, the conversation was
The one
leaked.
I saw was they were in a Zoom room, and then the lady was talking about if you lead the
No,
person through a back
that's
door or
America.
something. That's America.
That
That's a different one. Okay.
that's a
That was
whole
the one I
different.
saw.
That's
That's
a
a whole
different one.
different one. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going, like, February was just so traumatic, like so
Yeah,
many different things
so
just
many
going on.
things.
And
And
you
that's
would
what,
think, yeah, you
yeah,
would
go
think the
ahead.
month will be about celebration, but like it's just so many jabs at like,
Mhm. That's what I said. I said in February we're getting we're getting this because this happened in December. Why is it coming out in
yeah,
February? Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? So yeah, it was, and it's still ongoing. I know the parents of black families, they're the ones that are the POB, black parents of black, I think it's Black community or something like that. They're the ones that are taking it on and taking it further, asking for an external investigation, as well
okay,
as the teachers have been fired. Because at first, when we first heard about it, the teachers were on leave because they had come in the room, and
wow,
you heard them trying to tell the kids to, like, oh, we all make mistakes, move on, but not apologizing. So to me, it's just gaslighting the kids. But my concern, it's my biggest concern is if it was my child,
yeah,
why, even though you're not on social media, you know people who's on social media. You know somebody who has an account. Tell somebody to tell people. Like, why do we allow them, continue to allow, the power that be to keep these things hidden when we have such a platform now that nothing needs to be hidden if we don't want it.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
it was so alarming to me that these parents that were involved with this situation, I didn't see any of them on social media. I didn't see anything
Wow.
about the parents. But you see in America, when these things happen, the
It's
parents are all in
scandal.
the social
Yeah.
media, the kids, the
Yeah.
aunties, the
Yeah.
uncles, the things are under the post and posting. So again, Canada is still very like, I don't know if it's a matter of, hi, Anthony. I don't know if it's a matter of we're just, again, our
Very
racism is
passive.
polite.
Very polite. Very passive. To our detriment, even. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I definitely that was one of the topics that we talked about and why it wasn't all over the news or all over the even if they apologize and now they're looking at the principle of how he handled it. I don't care if you apologize. It still needs
It's
to be public
wrong. Yeah,
because
it's
the
wrong.
schools
Yeah.
are public. The schools are not private. So any information that happens in the school, as long as you're not using the kids' names, direct names, it should be able to be out in the community. And that's my concern as to why it wasn't
Yeah.
and why it wasn't publicized by the families who are dealing with this. Because my concern is what's happened, what supports are being put in place for these kids, for these families who are having to deal with this. And maybe these kids have never dealt with this directly like this in their face before. And you just get in a kind of apology or not really an apology. I saw a lot of people rallying for this principal and saying, "Oh, he's a great guy. He doesn't he's always helping in this and he's because apparently he owns the either the sports center, the
Wow.
Brampton Sport. So the principal's attached to some sort of big sporting event or a sporting company. So I'm just like, is that the reasoning? Is because you don't want to lose business for your sporting event, so you try to,
Hmm.
and you don't want to lose these teachers because they're again they're sports teachers, and this was I think this was the athletic club. This
Wow.
is the athletic teachers. So it's like, what are these? These are the concerns. These are why it was happening behind our backs and nobody's saying anything. And even after that the principal was fired and the teachers I still didn't hear anything about it. There was no follow up. So again, what is going on? I still don't hear the parents.
There is zero accountability and zero
No.
reflection because we do need to come out and talk about these things because the more they're swept under the rug, the more it's going to keep happening. Because for even someone to say that in public, it's like, and they probably thought there would be no repercussion.
Yes, it does make it worse. No limits. It does. It definitely makes it worse that we are having to hear it from people who didn't really want it to come out, but not our own
Yeah.
people who is it affecting. Because those teachers are probably going to get another teaching job and
Yes.
and it's going to be you're not even going to remember their names, and they're going to be teaching our kids again. And what's going to happen again? It's going to happen again because these people are not going to stop doing what they're doing just because they get some form of embarrassment or they get moved, they get their job is lost. And
Mhm.
these people probably own businesses in the community too. So just being aware of that. The other thing that I when I was going down this like looking for about missing black boys is the Fifth Estate documentary. Did you take a
Yes,
gander at that?
yes.
And then there was a
I it
town hall.
the more I watch it, it just makes me feel really sad. And I even watched the private screening that the community of Ajax did on it, and just
Yes.
listening to Brandon Gomez, like he was just so emotional. When he was interviewing the interviewers, just talking about how when you look at the story, it makes him feel like black boys are disposable, and he got really teary eyed on that because it's like that is the saddest part, that it just feels like there's no assistance, there's no help. That's why they go into some of these locations or follow the older boys, because they want to make money. They feel marginalized in the community. They're not able to find jobs. The statistics are there, even though the stats are not specific towards Toronto boys, but they
Yeah.
are national. But
Yeah.
it still shows that it's difficult for them to find, regular jobs in communities. They are less likely to be interviewed for positions, and they need funds, they need money, and there's that sense of responsibility that they have from a young age too, because they see their parents working hard, so they also want to contribute to the household. They also want to they want to bring something to the table. And when they go into the schools, and then they get a lot of the older boys that groom them know who to target as well,
Yeah.
which was really sad, just listening to all that. So you can really protect your kids as much as you want, but sometimes it's like there's no winning.
Mhm.
Because listening to one of the people that Brandon interviewed as well, and she mentioned how she worked really hard to get out of like Scarborough. You're thinking, oh, I'm moving to like a bigger gated community, but
Mhm.
nobody's safe. Your kids
Yeah.
are not safe because they can still, like, they can still get attracted, they can still get attached to some of these situations as well. So that's why we need to talk about it more. And how can we help our boys? Like, what's going on? Like, how do we make sure this isn't happening? What are the things that we need to do?
Definitely. And it was, I believe it was a bi blacks lady,
Yes,
the
exactly.
CEO. The
Camille Dundas. Yes,
Yeah, the Camille.
yes,
Yeah, she talked about she thought she moved her kids out of the, out of
yes.
the
Out of the
hood,
out of the ghetto,
to get
but
away from it.
still,
But no,
yeah,
there's no getting away from things that
exactly,
especially if it's different reasons. Like, I think we kind of only want to touch upon, the reasonings is because they want money and they want this, but there's other reasons why. Just like they
yeah,
were saying that, affluent kids are getting caught up as well.
exactly,
They're the ones,
exactly.
they have stuff and they have all the things. Hi, I'm Terry. They have things that are happening that for them. So it's other things that are happening. And I come from a mental health perspective where I work
Hmm.
with children who are struggling in all aspects of the areas of things. And there is a high rise in ideations, suicidal ideation. There's a high rise in just kids not understanding social skills and social cues. It is not just
Yes,
for kids on the autism spectrum. It is on like regular kids. I don't want to say normal because everybody's normal in their own way.
exactly.
But I am saying that social skills is not, it's not, it's not like wide, like known. It's not kind of like when I was saying when we were coming up, we didn't have social skills actually like as we're teaching them now, but we kind of knew like how to make a friend, or what was not a good friend, or what was going
Yeah.
to be a dangerous environment because our parents and our social group was
Stranger
emulating that.
danger.
Yeah, like we had social groups, so we had those kinds of,
Yes,
we had those on TVs where Barney and Social Dangers, all those bad touch, good touch, Dr. Sue.
exactly.
We had some form of thing, but now there's so much people, so much misinformation out there that our kids are kind of fending for themselves, but also too much like unknown. Is this real? Is this not real? Should I
Yeah,
follow this advice? Should I follow that one? Oh, when you start to do this one's not feasible anymore. So it's like parents have to be so much more, I feel, so much more involved with your kids' lives now than
that's true.
necessarily back then when we kind of had some
Exactly.
free will, kind of, but not so much. But yeah, so what do you think? Because I did look up some of the statistics because when I was watching the town hall, the pre-documentary viewing,
Yes.
they were saying that the Fifth Estate people, which was nice to see that there was some Black people on that panel as well, the Fifth Estate panel that did that Missing Black
Yes.
Boys documentary. But they were saying it was hard for them to find statistics,
Yes. And also
specifically.
it was hard for them to find the stats because they would also need some of the stats from the police as well, which they were being stonewalled.
Yeah,
It
I heard
seems
that
so.
too. I was like,
Like it just seems as if the stats are being hidden on purpose.
mm-hmm.
Because everywhere they go to try and get the stats on what's going on, how can we change this? What can we do? They're
It's
not able to get to the stats. Yeah.
And I was just Googling and just looking and seeing what was out there, being specific, being not so specific. I got a bit more information when I was much broader, but when I was very specific in
Specific,
trying,
it doesn't
I
exist.
I was
Yeah.
struggling. So it just said like 200 between the ages of 16 released in January. This was January 2026. That's the Missing Black Boys documentary came out.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if that is where the statistics kind of came from, because before there wasn't this much, even you couldn't even Google and you would get anything from it. So I don't know if
That's
they're the ones that, kind of helped put it out there a little bit more. But
mhm.
what the 3 points that we got from the documentary was the exploitation and trafficking and
Yeah.
labeling it that. Because I think when we label it sex trafficking, it's everybody's up in arms. There's so many programs for sex trafficking and this, but when we say just trafficking boys,
Trafficking, human trafficking of boys,
human
yes.
trafficking and about drugs and putting them in that situation, you hear crickets. You don't see any programs popping up to support that or to help that or to navigate that system. There's also systematic failures they talked about.
Mhm.
And we all know that the system needs to change. I believe the Amber Alert needs to change. The criteria to utilize Amber Alerts need to update and change. When last we looked at that and see that if this is a resource to help children who are in danger and that is so hard. It's so hard to get them to pinpoint that because even at one point, one of my sons went missing. I called them and they were like, they would get to it. Thank God he wasn't
Um,
really missing,
yeah.
but they were like, it wasn't
It
enough
wasn't
for
a
them.
priority, yeah.
No, and he was 13 at the time. He wasn't even
Wow.
15, 16 that he is now. He was 13 at the time, and they were like, if he wasn't special needs or he wasn't at risk, like we didn't see him getting kidnapped or we
Mm.
didn't see him getting hurt, that they're not putting out an Amber Alert.
Oh
But
my
I'm hoping
goodness.
they didn't even send out an officer quickly. Like I had to call them back and say, oh, never mind, he's found. But they didn't up to
Wow.
that, and that was
They didn't
hours
follow
later.
up.
They didn't even come. They didn't even follow up. They didn't even call. So this is what the system needs to change. The system needs to change. And also when I was watching the documentary, did you watch it? What did you get from the documentary in regards to?
The stats, for example, just really I was just wowed. So in 2024, out of the 322 uh children that were missing,
Hmm.
more than half were black boys.
Yeah.
And the black community only makes up 10% of Toronto's community.
Which is, I didn't even know that. Like, I
I
thought we
was
were
like,
much more than
I
that.
always thought we were more for some reason, but apparently not.
We're
And I
not.
was like,
Apparently,
those
we are
numbers
not.
are staggering. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I just
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. That was truly shocking. And also just listening to, the investigators talk about how it's hard for them to reach, uh, you know, um, police officers to get them to, give their side of the story and give the stats. And also just listening to the indigenous, people's community,
Yeah.
like listening to the leader, like her tearing up, saying that we try our best,
Yeah.
to report the
Send them
situation
home. Yeah.
to the police, but it just seems like nothing is being done because no one cares about these kids.
And it's so weird how whoever is trafficking them, how do they think that, like, if you're in a predominantly, native reserve and you're bringing the
Yes,
boys on the native reserve, do you not think that everybody's going to notice
notice.
that? Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
the fact that
obviously.
they are so confident to bring them in there just shows that they know that nothing's going to be done about this.
Exactly. They're like, oh, nobody cares. And when the father who was looking and searching, and then he even went there, and they dropped him off at the bus stop. The
Yeah,
only reason why is because they didn't want that father to bring any heat, any more
exactly,
attention to them.
exactly.
But I'm just like, you look at you are already bringing attention to yourself by bringing these transporting these boys up to God behind God's
Exactly.
back. And that's not looking normal in the general. Like, how many
Exactly.
Black people are in this community for them to be like, oh,
There's
that's
less
normal?
than none. Like there aren't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I felt
Exactly.
so, it felt so nice to see that the Inuit community was trying to help and be like, you know what, we see them and we tell them like, there's no place for you
There's no
here, go
place for
home,
you
But
here. Yeah.
I do wish that there was, because they see that that's where the boys are going, that there should be some satellite dishes being set up, services being set up to help these boys get back because yeah, you're going to say to them they shouldn't be, but how are they getting back if they were trafficked up
Because
there?
it seems
And
like they're being dropped off and then they're being left there.
yeah,
So is it that the
to
boys
set
find their
up.
way around to do what they need to do? Like it's truly
Apparently they're not
shocking.
allowed to leave the place and they're not getting paid as they said that that's how they got lured up there. So if somebody is trying to like leave there, it's kind of like when you watch the human trafficking and they say
Yes.
they bring them up and they're like, you owe me this amount of money and you have to work it off, the sex trafficking ones. That's what it sounded like to me in watching this documentary, is that's what they're telling the boys, that
Like
you owe me.
you have to work off what you owe us, but they're not getting paid. And also the part where they're not eating, you don't like they don't go out. They have to get food delivered to
And
them.
then in this, like, did you see where they were living? Like, I'm sure they have
Yes.
better homes where they came from than where they
Yes,
put them. So
definitely. But
it was,
also what was disturbing was, when the gentleman mentioned that the son kept going back. But I was like, but what they're going back to, the lifestyle, yes, they are maybe they are making some money, but the lifestyle of it,
and
it's
what,
not
and
healthy.
this is why I want to have these conversations, because it's like neither the fifth estate was able to really get to what the boys were
In depth.
saying. The
Yes.
dads didn't want, the parents that were involved didn't want to talk about it. And I'm like, we need to, even if you're saying this is not about my son directly, but this is
Mhm.
what I've learned in looking for my son. So that
That's
give
true.
us some background, give this community some background so that they know, why would this, if this father is so involved, where we know that there's not a lot of fathers. I know there's lots of black fathers, but there's not a whole heap out there that's going to go and
Go
search for
out
their.
and beyond, yeah. Because usually you wait for the police. You expect that okay, maybe they will do their work. But he would mention that he was scared of what would happen to his son because he didn't want
Mhm.
a situation where the son would have to leave that place in handcuffs. Like, let me get to him. Like you say, let me get
Yeah,
to him before the
before.
police gets to him. So that was really sad. That
I
was
was
really
really
sad.
concerned that we still didn't get an idea of why this kid went back. Like what was
Yes,
going on, why this kid went back, and why this kid is not even, because the dad's like, we ask him all the time and he doesn't want to tell us. So that means the dad is not getting an understanding of what is going on with
what's
his son
going on?
to help
Yeah,
him not negate this, like for it not to happen again. Be proactive instead of reactive. So those were my major concerns in that documentary. My other concern with the documentary is the fact that I am not, I'm not, I understand why it was a white reporter that went to do that piece, but I also felt that it should have been that black reporter as well, because I feel like if you're going in, and especially if you're talking to the families, you're going to get a different rapport. You're going to get a different understanding of what they have to go through and and what kind of questions to ask and what questions not, what body language to kind of pull back. So I kind of felt that maybe if they had somebody that looked like them to interview them, even if it was like the black father whose face you didn't see, and they may have gotten a youth to come out and talk.
yeah,
Like, you
that's
know what
true.
I
That's
mean?
true. Because
And that,
you never know. Maybe a black journalist started off with it, but got emotional. Because I don't know if I would have been able to contain my emotion, like listening to everything that's going on.
yeah,
Because it's
Shauna
so,
McCullough, she
yeah,
was the one that does the Finding the Missing Black Boys. She was a part of
yes,
it too. And I don't know why she wasn't a part of that. direct investigation. And yeah, it could be that too, that it would have been really
Yeah,
difficult for us to
because
keep our composure.
exactly in the general interview that they that Brandon Gomez was doing with them after the pre-screening, like
Hmm.
she was very emotional about it. She was
Hmm.
because she said that, okay, what's going on? It's like they are not high priority, and she took it upon herself
Yeah,
to make it a high priority. It was really emotional. Just watching them talk about it, I was like, what's going on? How
yeah,
can we do more? How can we do better? And do we need to ask more questions? You need to,
yeah,
even if it means, like, going to the police station to ask, okay, what's going on? Like,
yeah.
if more people showed more interest,
I think it would be a bit
it would
more.
move.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would all move a lot faster.
And I also think too that it's also another thing is once we have like it shouldn't have been just one, one of these kind of town hall kind of situations. It should have been more. And I know there was pockets because me and my girlfriend, we went to one that was those during I think it was December. They were having a
Mhm.
lot of them at different community centers. But really, when we came away from it, we were like, this was a waste of time because there was nobody there. There was nobody talking. Like there was nobody that was like I want to say influential, but I also there was like nobody there really. What's the next
Wow.
steps? What's going to happen from this? Where are we going with this? What's
Who's
happening?
following up? Yes. Who's
Yeah.
following up?
So
Yes.
it was disappointing, and it also as a community member, as a mom, it's kind of like here we go again. It's like we start off so gusto and then we die out and nothing gets done and it's moms who are, the ones who have to be, traumatized by
Pushing
it or
for
because
it. Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
have to really be fighting and going.
Exactly.
It's hard. Like even, for my kids having, and I'm really involved in in a lot. So, the other thing that I saw too was some of the black members that they had like organizations. Did you see them? They used to be in the life, but they're not in the life
Yes, but not
anymore.
anymore. Now they are advocates and helping children get out of those situations. Yes. Yes.
Again, Scarborough. Where are the other areas? Like it's not just a Scarborough thing.
It's
Like
not
it's
just a
not.
Scarborough thing. Yeah, and it's not just a, Brandon Gomez was saying that let's not just see this as just a black thing. This is a Canadian problem.
Hmm.
Like it's we need to look deeper into that. It's not just Scarborough, it's the whole of Toronto, it's the whole of Canada that this is going on at. It's just
Hmm.
that Toronto, is speaking more open about talking about it. Even with that, it's still hush hush
It is. Because
conversation. Yes.
again, look how much, what else have we heard from it? Like what? No more town halls, no more talking about it,
No,
no more
nothing. Like
documentary.
zilch,
The
nothing.
only thing that I just recently saw was the police commissioner in
Exactly.
yeah.
The two deputy.
That's
Wow.
it.
I was
That
just
was,
like,
and,
wow.
and that was like a glimpse on the news, and that was it. Like, you know what
That
I
was it.
mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to continue. And in talking to the community and talking to community members, I've been referring this documentary to parents to sit and
Same
watch
here.
it with
I
their
keep
kids.
posting it.
Yeah,
I've posted it so many times. I think I got a couple of people unfollowed me even.
keep posting
Like,
it. I'm
it's a
gonna keep
real
posting it
issue. We
too.
need to talk about this.
Yeah,
This is a real problem. Don't wait until it happens to your child. Like, don't wait until it becomes unbearable. Even though
yeah.
right now it is unbearable. Yes.
Exactly. And I'm still trying to get Shayna to come on so that we can talk to her more because I know she's still doing the work and she's still working on it with her foundation. So I've been trying to get her to come on and just talk about it a bit more.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep working on that. In our ends, I want to put out there what we can do as a community. And I believe, like, Olo's saying, She's like, go to your police stations and check in. Even if you're just driving past and you have a
Yeah.
little 5 minutes, just pop in and just let them know that the community is still
Cares, like we're
looking.
watching, we want to know
Yes.
what's going on. Like we care about our boys. We care about
Mhm.
our boys.
And we
Yes.
care about our missing Black girls because it's not just our boys that are missing too. It's our
Exactly.
Black. I just saw in
Exactly.
America two young Black girls were found in a suitcase or
Wow.
found, so it's
It's
just
too much.
it is a lot, and I really want us to have some things that we can do, some tangible. Does anybody have any questions in here? Because I see that there's still some people in here. Some comments are going up. Vibe Organic says true, so true. Thank you, Sherelle. Thanks for joining. Any questions? Any comments? I really want you guys to be a part of this, and I'm going to continue to have these discussions. I'm not going to be like dropping it off and stopping. I'm going to continue to have these discussions. I continue, like I said, in my work, I work with Black youth and families, and I send them that documentary. I send them the town hall so that they can look at it and understand what's going on, because I feel like they think that it's not going to be me or it's not going to be my
Yes, like
kid.
no, it would never happen. And
Yeah,
like Camille said, like you everyone
you
thinks
don't
that
know.
way, that oh, this will never happen to my kids, or this will never happen to my community, or that's so far or far away. I don't stay in Scarborough.
Hmm.
But like
Yeah,
everyone is so interconnected these days. It's so easy to look up someone and be like, hey, I want this kid doing this lifestyle,
yeah.
and check them out and find where they're located. Like we are all interconnected these days.
We are. It's such a big world, but small world for our
Exactly.
children. Because every time I connect with somebody, I'm always like, hey, I know this person, or I know this.
Exactly.
It's
I know
always some
somebody
sort
who
of
knows somebody
connection.
who knows you. Exactly.
Exactly. So definitely keep talking about it for the people. If you know anybody that's going through this situation at the high school with the racist teacher, reach out to me. Come on my platform.
Definitely.
You don't
Definitely.
have your own platform. If you don't want to show your face, that is totally fine. But let it be known that that's what's going on. I would love for some of those parents to even pass it through me or pass it through Shayna. What are some things that parents can do to really be aware of why this child would get returned and then leave his home and go back to that
Mm.
environment? Why? What
One
is the
of
whys?
During one of the interview, there was a mention of how one of the community members like raised funds to create like a basketball court, like maybe have
Mhm.
a place where kids can meet, talk,
Yeah.
have conversations with people that are your age and will have the
Yes.
same understandings, just so that you can vent. Sometimes I feel like sometimes like kids need like an outlet, the community center, where people listen to the problems they have, the issues that they are facing, just so that it's not swept under the rug. They
Yeah.
need to feel like they belong, they feel connected. And that's we need more community centers, definitely, where they can speak up, without fear of, being judged.
Yeah, we need more healing circles. We need, if like
Yeah,
for example, you need somebody like my services that is there to have those hard conversations, because
exactly.
I'm not on anybody's side, so I'm definitely going to be able to ask those questions. And youth are always going to be more not trusting, but a bit more open with strangers or somebody that's not in their
In
circle,
their circle, yes.
because they feel like they're not going to be judged, they're not going to be talked about, they're not going to be looked at differently. So this is why sometimes you have to have a third party have these
Yeah,
conversations with your
that's
kids.
true.
So when I saw that father say that he went back another time and
Wow.
now he's
Yeah.
incarcerated because he got arrested the
Arrested, yeah.
second time he went back, that it's now like, oh my goodness, if you would have done, and I don't know what services were being offered, and that is another thing. What services are being offered to these families? What is out there? And that is one of the things, the solutions that I want to look at is, like you said, there is not enough jobs. I work with youth all the time that are looking for jobs and not
Yeah.
time jobs, not full-time jobs, because they
It's
still have
part-time.
school.
Like even it's just part-time, something like they're not able to find.
Few hours, like a few
Yeah.
hours with all of these businesses that are coming up here. Black owned businesses, I'm coming to you and I'm shouting out that
Yes,
if I know it is hard for us, especially when we're starting up, but if you are a Black owned business out there that is established, and one youth, hire one youth, even if it's just a volunteer and help you out until you're able to pay them. Just do
exactly.
it. Take them on, because we say it takes a village, but the village means that it does not just have to be financially. It does not have to be, oh, I'm going to be a big brother or big, which is so difficult for them to find Black big brothers. I am, again, looking for that. I'm looking for mentors for these Black boys and Black girls that I'm working with. And I'm struggling to find them. I'm struggling to find programs. Even March break is coming up, and I'm
Wow.
looking for things for these kids to do. Before March break, you used to have to sit on the phone. 6 o'clock hit, you're on the phone signing up for the March break programs
Yeah,
because you want
yeah.
your kids to get into the free March break programs. And they had so much March break programs. But now, like,
But
where are the March
they're not
break
existent.
programs?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know what. I
what
really don't know what's going on. I don't know
it,
what's
it,
going on.
it's again, funding is being allocated to places for short-term uses and for short-term things that are just coming up. Okay, human trafficking, we're going to give you a bunch of money towards human trafficking. When that issue dies down or the money runs out, oh, missing Black boys, we're going to give you a bunch of money toward. But sustainability is what these kids need.
Yes,
They don't
exactly.
need a program popping up because the issue's hot and then going away once the funding is over. They need consistency, so they need security in these programs and in these adults who are going to be working with them. So this is what I wanted to touch in with. If anybody knows of those agencies in Scarborough that are funded by those Black men who are trying to do their part, let them connect, because again, maybe they could have a hub down here. Maybe they could have different hubs in different areas of people supporting them. It doesn't have to be the agency, full agency, but it could be that my business, they allocate 3 spots for mentorship in my business, or 3 spots in somebody else's business that you're paying for, you're providing. So it's just a matter of working together and really working together. But so
So
the
they
things
also
that we
need
can,
to, yeah,
yeah,
they need
go
to
ahead.
advertise everything because that's the thing. Even if you have these programs, even not advertising it, like people won't know. People,
Hmm.
even if they want to help the community, even if they want to help these boys, even if they want to create, after school programs for them, you need to raise awareness about it. Like me being in the marketing communications field, I learn about things because people know that's my field, so they tell me
Mhm.
about it. But there are people who need to know things, but they don't know about it.
Yeah.
They don't know about these programs that can help their sons, that can help their boys get off the streets. Because sometimes, like when you're done after school and they go home, all they do is watch TV, but they need more engagement. Like they
Yeah.
need more, apart from playing with their phones, apart from visiting friends, they need to get more into programs that can stimulate their minds. They can learn better things rather than watching some programs that glamorizes um
Fast money.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, which is some
Yeah.
of the problem as well.
But volunteer, like I don't understand too, like why this is not like I used to volunteer a lot when I was young, especially when wasn't sure where I wanted to be, long term.
Yeah.
I used to volunteer here just to see if because I really wanted to work with kids. So I would go and say, can I volunteer at the daycare center, because I want to know if that's the field that I want to go
You want
into,
to
if I'm
be,
okay to work with
yeah.
kids. So why, again, what is happening with these opportunities? And where are these opportunities going? And now they're removing the money from OSAP and reducing the OSAP support. It's like,
And that's going to be a major problem because already it is difficult to to go to school
yeah,
without funds. But now if everything is going to become loans, then you have to worry more about paying that back.
yeah,
And then which also increases the chances of kids not going into school anymore because they don't want to have to worry about paying so much money back, especially if there's no guarantee of getting a job after school. And that's one of the major issues because already it's hard to get a job, but now you're going to go to school and then have more money to pay back, and there's still no guarantee.
Yeah. And this is, I
So
kind of, when I saw that, I was like, oh, it's a catch 22 because now it'd be like, oh, well, when you do this, you're now jeopardizing your economy in the long run because
exactly.
you're going to have a lot, like you said, you're going to have a lot of kids who are not going to go to school. And then what are they going to do? So are they going
They're
to,
going to go more into this lifestyle. That's what is going to happen. That's going to be a problem. This is going to be more and more of an issue as time goes on.
or it could be another where that now, the youth who now don't maybe look at a trade will now start to look at a trade because
Yeah,
that's the only way that they can get their
exactly.
education kind of
Exactly.
paid for and know they'll get a job and they can even turn it around into their own business. So I think I'm looking at it that way kind of, and this is for my own because I have two sets, twins of 16 that now they're starting to look at what to do. And I'm just kind of like, okay, now it's okay for them to take a year to figure out what to do because now it's not as easy as, oh, we're applying as soon as before we finish school, we're applying to universities or
Yeah,
colleges because we can get OSAP or
we
because
can
we
get
can
with that.
get
Yeah,
some grants to support us. No. So now it's kind of like, yeah, do you want to work and take the slower route by paying for, the courses instead of doing OSAP? Because yeah, who wants to set them up for so much debt? We already had a lot of debt with OSAP. Even now, I tell them I'm still paying back OSAP, and I'm in my 40s. So, yeah,
I
so
know.
it's like, and I
I
didn't even go
know.
to school for friggin' doctor or anything. No big
Exactly.
thing.
Can
So
you imagine?
exactly, like it's kind of like, come on. So what are you setting them up for? And parents do not jump into that. If you know your child knows exactly what they want to do, how much it's going to cost, the field and possibility for employment, then I say all power, go ahead and take it. But if your child is not sure, your child is not
Mhm.
very, then give them that space to figure it out.
Figure it
And
out.
they don't. And I think we also have to look at our kids can then become international students in other places. They don't have to stay in
Exactly.
Canada and
Exactly.
tough it out. Try go to Thailand and learn, something different, or go and find a job if you can find
Be
another.
challenged. Yes.
So I think we now have to start thinking outside of the box instead of just thinking that we have to stick to the OSAP is the only
Exactly.
way of doing things, or only option for our kids. So yeah. So that's what really I was thinking about and I was coming up with in when I wanted to have this discussion and in having these discussions is figuring out instead of just talking but what solutions are out there because they always say what do we do, what do we do, and then when we tell them what to do, who
They're
really
like,
takes the
no, no.
ball?
Because one of the solutions is going into the police stations and asking questions like, what are we doing? What's going on? This boy's being found. But once you say that, people are like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I'm like,
I
wait.
did you hear if they were going to have another part two of the documentary series, if they were going to do more?
Um, they didn't really dive deeper into that.
And that's
They
the
didn't dive
problem.
deeper
You
into
can't do
that. Mm.
one documentary about this big issue and leave it like that. Like what? That is
I guess if they push for more information, if they're able to get more information, more resources, they will probably do a part two. If more people ask for it too, if more
that's
people
crazy.
show interest,
Well, we
because
need to be
this
on the Fifth Estate's
yes,
pages requesting it, guys. So I encourage you, if you're rewatching this and you see this, go on the Fifth Estate and
yes,
request a part two, part three of
yes, please,
the missing Black boys because we don't want to let up. We don't want to take our foots off their necks because if we
exactly.
do, like it's never going to nothing's going to come of it. So I
And
really.
they are reading the comment section, so do comment.
Mhm.
Go on YouTube, watch the documentary, comment, reach out to them on their websites, reach out to the journalists, just do everything you need to do to make sure that this topic doesn't die down because it is it's serious, it's happening, and it looks like maybe the media is only picking up on it now, but this has always been a problem. So
Lola, did
let's
anybody talk like because that is a beautiful poster. Did anybody reach out to you to put that
no,
up somewhere to
no,
that is a
because
beautiful
I tagged all I tagged a whole bunch of people and no one responded back. And I was like, what's going on? Because you want people to talk about the in a situation, what's going on, but still, it's like
you do nothing about it.
they do nothing about it. Yeah,
Because even that, like that poster, the one that you have should be up on like City TV's pages, even the Fifth Estate. Maybe I'm gonna go check it out after this if they have anything up, because I'm definitely going to tag them
yeah.
on
No,
yours
they
and
don't. They
Facebook.
don't. Because I was like, oh, there should be posters about this. There should be campaigns. And that's the thing. Because I'm a marketing campaign person. I was like, where I was looking for the campaigns about this, the posters, because I'm like, that's what would get people interested. Because these days, like there's so much information out there that you
Mm,
actually need to push your stuff out there. You
yeah.
really do. So it's like I was looking for it, I was waiting for that, but I really did not see that many.
Black history. Well, Missy, if you can print it for me, I will put it in the back of my thing every time I come up here so that it's there. So if you can
It's
print it for me, send it to me. I will put it up there so that it is leads up there. I will also put one in my agency that I work with. Like it needs to be out there.
it needs to be out there.
Bus stops need to have it up, like
It's in Black
constantly
Boys.
looking
Where are
around.
they? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful, beautiful picture,
Thank
like
you.
beautiful picture.
Thank you.
So, no, thank you. It's not even thank you. And, for us to really think about what else do we have to put out there? Who else do we need to be talking to or tagging or, what else can we be doing in all of these issues? Not only the issues about the missing Black boys or missing Black children, because I'm focused on the boys because of the boys are always
The
underfunded,
stats. Yes, yes.
always underfunded, but it's also, like I said, it's children, our
The
Black
children.
children. And I don't want to say, oh, I know it's a worldwide issue because it is a worldwide issue. But again, we are the
Specifically.
ones that are lacking
Yeah.
specifically in the exposure. That is why we say, and I'm specific when I say Black boys, because it's the exposure that we're lacking. It's the proactiveness of it that we're lacking
Exactly.
and the follow through we're lacking. So this is
Exactly.
why I'm going to continue to stress it for our Black community to continue to put it up on each of your platforms. Don't just let it go. And another thing that I had when I was going to be doing this that I saw in my DMs were questions like, what happens when we see the posters, Carrie? Sometimes you post them because I just repost, but sometimes I'll actually throw them into my stories, and then there's no update. Nobody comes back and says, found, this is the reason, or no, I don't want to get too deep into their business, but give us some bullet points so
Yeah.
that we can put it out there because if we're invested and we're praying for these kids, we want to know that they're being
That they've been
safe
found. Yes.
and what is happening behind it. So why did they leave? When they
Because
came back, what
sometimes
resources did they get? Are they connected to? And what supports can we put in place to help our kids that are dealing with it or might not be victim to it? So
I know
that's what I'm
just
concerned.
sometimes like sometimes it just feels like there's a because only as you can see like only few or just one parent came out to talk, and although they did say oh maybe because some legal issues but it can't just all be
Oh,
legal
no.
issues. There's a lot of stigma and shame attached to this as well.
We
So
have to
that's
let
why
it go.
yeah, we have to let that go. We
Mm-hmm.
have to let that go. Because life is life. Life is
Happen.
going to happen
Yeah,
regardless. And that's one thing I had to learn how to do, the whole mentality of, oh, what if somebody sees this? Or what if, like I have zero shame these days. Like if I need help about something, I'm going to be like, I need help with XYZ
that's me.
because like I'm not an island. The community needs help.
Yes,
So that it's just so it's very heartbreaking to see that, the stigma and shame attached to that, knowing that, oh, your child ran away from home or this happened or that happened. Like, please let us all remove that from our hearts.
yeah.
Please. That's one thing I'm really pleading about as well.
And I understand the beast because I totally get it because even the child that he was on the missing poster and then he was the one that was that
So found.
the pew pew the older white woman. Remember that? I'm sure, like, if you read the comments under these posts that people were posting up or things, I totally can understand why a parent may not want to be publicized if it's their child. And also, if their child is for a different reason, like it's not just maybe a mental health or it's for other reasons. I understand, I overstand. But what my thing is that there's always a way of getting information out there that doesn't necessarily have to put
Exactly.
you and your personal business out there.
Out
Even if
there.
you are
Yes.
you're sending it to my DM and you're like, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, please perhaps don't use my name or don't use any, reference to my child. But at least there is something out there that we can then tangibly pass on to
Exactly.
other people.
Exactly.
So please,
Exactly.
the call of action is if you know or you are dealing with something that your child has run away or your child is, has been trafficked and is back or is incarcerated for whatever the reason is, please reach out to me. Let me share your story. Let me be the one to sort of put it together where don't have to use your name or as the exact situations, but I will come up with here community. These are the things that we need to look out for. These are the things that when you see them, this is what you can do. Because of my background as a behavioral management consultant, I can do that. So if that's what you're seeking, that's what you're looking for, but you don't know how to express it and you don't trust everybody, know that confidentiality is important in what I do. So if you sign it, there will be confidence in things. And I'm not here to put add more harm. We want to be
Exactly.
there to help and to be a listening ear for our
Exactly.
families that are supporting. Because yes,
Exactly.
it is not easy being a parent. It is not, it looks like Golden wants to come up. Okay, Golden, you can come on up and add your 2 cents if you'd like. So yeah, we're not here to be judged. We're not here to be
No,
judged.
like zero
Yeah,
judgment.
this is
Zero, because
zero.
we've reached a point where we really, 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 really need to work on this together, everyone together, to find out what's going on, figure out what's going on before it becomes.
A pandemic, an app, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Before
Yes.
it's like everybody is dealing with something or it has touched somebody in certain form. And that is what we are trying to be proactive instead of reactive. And that's what you say.
Let's
Like
let's
I'm like you. If I know it, I find out about it, whoever asked, everyone will
Yes,
know is
everybody
gonna know.
has to know, because
Yeah.
sometimes, like, when I post something, maybe like, oh, like, oh, people, someone might not like this, they might unfollow me because it's too sensitive. I'm like, if it's a problem that's affecting the community, it has to be shared.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes these days, and we need more content creators, posting about that as well. And I would like to encourage all the content creators out there, like, whenever there's an issue of interest affecting, the community, please, oh, the
Okay.
vendor
Hi, the
network is doing
Vendors Network.
something.
Hello, ladies. How can I help? I am a mother of 4 courageous children. Please let me know how I can help. All right. So what we said how you can help is you can go on the Fifth Estate
Documentary.
page and the documentary about the missing Black boys, either on YouTube or Instagram, and ask them for part two, part three. You can also reach out to myself or Lola. Lola has an amazing poster. If you have a business, get the poster out there. If you have a series that you do on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, have it in the background. Just like you have the Black History posters up, have that up there so the conversation is always there somewhere. If you have a business and you want to employ our kids, let us know. If you know of any mentors, girls, males, and females, let us know. Connect them with the kids in the community because that is what our kids are missing. I saw a boy on TikTok come and said for 1 year he's been job searching and he has yet to
Mm-hmm.
find a job. He has yet to find a job. That is a problem.
That's a
So if
problem.
you have a business, even if it's volunteer, the vendor network, even if it's volunteering, if your 4 children has friends and parents of parents, let the kids go out and volunteer. I'm looking for March break programming. Do you know of any March break programming, whether it's free or a small fee, because we are working with, at-risk youth and families? Let me know, send it to my DM so that I can pass it on to my social media network as well as the families that I'm working with. So there's lots of things that we can do. If you know of the families that are dealing with this and they don't want to have judgment, they feel like there's shame or any shame, connect them with me, connect them with, resources so that they're able to get it out there because our voices need to be louder than the situation. And
Yeah.
if we
It's
keep hiding in
exactly.
shame, then our voices are not going to be known. If you're passing by your local police station, just pop in and say,
Just
you know
pop
what?
in and say
I
hi.
saw this documentary. I'm a little curious about what you guys are doing. If there's
Next
anything
steps.
happening, next
Next
step,
steps.
any updates that you may have. And if they send you to somebody else, get that somebody else and put them on social media. If they do not respond to you in a certain amount of time, if they're ignoring your calls, your cries for action, have more of these discussions, town halls, local mom groups if you're involved. Let's keep our foot on their necks is what I like to say. I will be running my summer camp. I will reach out to you. Great, thank you.
Yes, please,
Any
please.
March
I
break? Any
can
March
send the
break?
posters, the designs, we can go from there, have these discussions, have these discussion circles, just so that we can all come together and figure
Mhm,
things out and see. And just like we need to also start encouraging, our boys to be more open about
mhm.
talking, having these conversations. If they feel like, okay, they will not be judged, they will be more open to having these conversations. We need to get them talking. We
Yeah.
need to get them talking.
Okay, you had to push the mark break
That's the
pad.
mark.
Okay. Well, keep us posted. And sometimes too, I really want you guys to understand that when you are, because I have 4 boy children, so I know when you are dealing with boys, it is not always easy to get them connected to counseling. I know we are all like counseling, counseling, counseling because it's the big word right now. It's the
Mhm.
big fad right now. And I'm loving that it's on the tip of our tongues, but I wanted you to understand that not everybody is open and
That's
easy
true.
to do counseling. It takes time. So that's why you can connect with somebody who like me who's not a counselor but is worked with kids and youth all her life, has them, who knows how to talk to them, who knows how to get things out, who knows how to build rapport because it's all about when they're young, it's all about relationship. It's all about rapport. And if you can build that rapport, you can get a lot out of them. So
Exactly.
that their parents may not be able to, that a counselor may not be able to. So please connect if you see that they're struggling. If you're struggling as a parent or a caregiver or a dad, not being able to open their child to open up, please connect with me and let's get this conversation going because it's going to be proactive instead of reactive outcomes that we're looking for. So yes, and connect with Lola. She is an amazing, amazing artist as you can see, and she does marketing. For businesses. If you're needing, you
Communication,
know,
spoken words. I do
yeah,
everything.
if you're having any event, connect with her, and she's gonna get me that poster, and maybe she'll get 10 posters. Maybe she'll do 10 posters, and we
Now I'm
will
feeling
do.
more encouraged to create more posters and
Yes,
awareness about it because I was waiting for people to be like, "Oh, what's going on?
yes,
How can we
Lola,
create a
create
change?
them.
Where should we put this? Where should we post this? Like how can we get involved?" So please
Yes,
feel free to reach out to me. And
yes,
I was making sure to also not, because the way I design some of my posters is not to use the actual faces of people that
yeah,
I'm meeting. So just so that it's more generic, but
yeah.
also, visually um pleasing, just so people can know, okay, we can use this and different
Yeah.
areas, and it's not so
Yeah.
scary. It won't
Yeah.
scare anyone, even if it does. Like, it's a very serious topic.
Yeah.
So, we need to raise
Yeah.
awareness about it.
Yeah, the vendors network, get a poster to put up in your space, your summer break program space. Like I said, business owners, if you have a space, get a poster and put it up. All you have to do is put it up. You don't have to do anything else. If the information of how you can help or who you can connect with
Yeah.
will be on the poster. So that's all you have to do is just put it out there. It's just like a missing, lots of reposting of the missing posters.
Yes.
Who's really going around and like putting them on the trees and on the bus stops and on the stores, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, like
When I go
we
in the
should do
grocery store,
that.
I don't
Yeah,
see
we should be doing that. Like, they should be like in every store. Like, okay,
what.
like, let's talk about this. Let's have these discussions.
Yes.
Let's
So I'm getting
let's
on you,
spread
Lola, to
solutions
get at
together.
least a few posters. So if people request, I'm requesting one. The vendor network is requesting one.
Please send me an
So
email, please, and let me
yes.
know what, like, how you want it to be designed, what type of words you want on them. Just let's get it going.
Yeah, yes, yes, we can get it done. We like I said, it takes little things. Everybody wants to be like, what can we do? One little thing. It doesn't have to be you getting, laws change and
Yeah.
walking the streets and organizing that. But one thing you can do is hire a youth. One thing you can do is put up a poster, to go out and put these posters up. All right.
All right, let's
Vendor.
let's get in the
Look at
DM.
vendor.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. Same here. Same here.
Okay.
Same
You know
here.
what? Let's do a group off of here and then let's put it out there. Who wants to do that and support and help? Because let me tell you, I'm not the one to be going around and putting them up, but I'm definitely the one to get the word out there and support. I know what my ministries are, my strengths are, and that's what everybody needs to do. Tap into what your strengths are and
Mm-hmm.
focus on that. Don't try to be all and do all because that's how we burn out quickly and then
That's
we don't
true.
get nothing done. Know what your strengths are, know what you're capable of doing, and volunteer there. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Send the messages and let's work. And I'll put it out there when I put this up. I will put the call to action. So what can you do to get this, keep this going? Okay. So yeah, tap into your strengths and utilize it as best as you can. Lola, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your
Thank you
thoughts.
so much for having me.
Yeah, and I
I'm
really
super
keep the
excited.
posters going. I will keep at
Yes.
least once a week. I'm going to repost your poster. So if you have different ones, send them to me or tag me and I'll repost it.
No
Okay.
problem. No
Because it was
problem.
really, really just so nice to have a community member. Do you have kids, Lola?
No, I don't.
See, look at that. Lola doesn't even have kids and she's on
And
here worrying about
I'm
our
so
kids.
invested in it.
I
Like,
love it. This is what the village is. You don't even have to have kids.
exactly.
Lola,
Exactly.
do you want to be a mentor? I need a mentor for a
Yes,
young.
I can be a mentor.
All
I
right,
can
look,
be a
I'm
mentor.
connecting. I'm connecting. I have three young girls that need some sisterly support, so I will connect with you. But like again,
No
I'm putting it
problem.
out there, guys. Whatever you can do, go to the Fifth Estate website page, tag them, tell them we need more
We need
documentaries.
a
We need
part two.
part
Yes.
two or part three. Go to the police station, tag the police station, ask them what is the update on the missing black boys. Get the posters and put them up in your businesses. Put them up there. If you're having it's gonna be up here. When you see me up here, you're gonna see that it's up here. So yes, put them out there. If my agency, I'm gonna ask my agency, put it up there. Where I work as a day job. So yes, we can do our little part. So that's my call to action is to do your part. Talking is great, but action is even a little bit
Even
help.
better. Yeah.
Even a little bit.
Mm.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you so much for just hopping onto my request because I literally just, like I said, saw her poster, said, come on, girl, let's do this. She was like, when, where, let's
Well,
follow. And
let's talk about it. Like, let's yes.
great. She didn't say, oh, what time. She didn't say what money did this. She didn't say
No, no,
nothing.
no, no,
She
no.
was
Like,
like, when can I be
this
there?
is
Let's talk about
very
it.
serious topic. Let's get it
Yeah,
going. Let's get our boys back home. Let's do
yeah,
what we can as a
yeah,
community. Yes.
yeah. So thank you again. So I will be back on again. What is the next topic? I will let you know. You will see it. If you see me, please continue to reshare, share, and like the page. And if there is a topic that you feel, you know what, Carrie, let's have a conversation about, just DM me and we can get that going. So thank you again, Lola. Have a great
Thank you.
weekend.
Have a great weekend.
And we will
Bye
be in
for
touch in the
now.
DMs. We'll be in touch in the DMs.
Definitely.
Good night.
Definitely.